My name is Morgan Taylor, and for years I tried to make money selling things online. Nothing worked until I discovered this. But before I tell you what changed everything for me, I want to ask you something. Have you ever been scrolling through Etsy and stumbled across something so simple it stopped you cold? A planner, a wall print, a budget spreadsheet, a motivational quote on a mug. And you looked at it and thought, wait, someone made that. Someone put that on the internet. And people are buying it. Hundreds of people, maybe thousands. And for a second, you thought, I could do that. Maybe you even tried. Maybe you opened Canva, stared at a blank canvas, and had absolutely no idea where to begin. What do I make? What does it look like? Will anyone even want this? What if I spend hours on something and sell nothing? So you closed the tab. Told yourself you'd figure it out later. Watched a few YouTube videos. Got overwhelmed. Did nothing. And the person selling that simple planner for $11 kept making sales while you were still thinking about it. I know that feeling, because that was me. For almost 3 years, I watched people talk about passive income from digital products. I'd see screenshots of Etsy dashboards with hundreds of sales, Redbubble shops with thousands of designs, print-on-demand stores earning money while the owner was asleep. And I'd think, this seems real. This seems like something that actually works. Why can't I figure it out? I tried. More than once. I tried making t-shirt designs, uploaded them to Redbubble, got 3 views and 0 sales. I tried creating a planner, listed it on Etsy. Nothing. I tried a budget tracker template. Nothing again. The frustrating part wasn't the effort. The frustrating part was not knowing why it wasn't working. Was it the design? Was it the product? Was it the listing? Was it the platform? I had no idea which thing to fix because I didn't understand the system behind any of it. I just kept randomly making things and randomly listing them and randomly hoping someone would find them. And of course, that approach doesn't work. Here's what I eventually figured out. The thing that changed everything. I didn't need to be creative. That was the whole problem. I was approaching this like an artist, like someone who needed to have original ideas, design instincts, a visual eye, and some kind of natural talent I clearly didn't have. But the people making real money with this, they weren't approaching it that way at all. They weren't inventing anything. They weren't being creative in the way I thought creativity worked. They were looking at what was already selling, already proven, already getting search traffic and generating real demand. And then they were making their version of it. Faster, cleaner, better optimized, using Canva. That's it. That's the system. Find what's selling, make your version of it, list it, repeat. No original ideas required, no design degree, no artistic talent, no audience, no following, no marketing, just a free tool, a proven system, and the willingness to actually do the work. Once I understood that, everything changed. Within a few months, I had products in multiple marketplaces. Some of them I made in less than 30 minutes. Some of them I haven't touched in over a year. And they're still making sales. That's what passive income actually means. Not hustle while you sleep. Not grind until you drop and hope something sticks. Products that you create once, list once, and then leave alone while the marketplace brings customers to you. And everything I learned, every mistake I made, every shortcut I found, everything that worked and didn't work, I put it into a complete step-by-step guide. I call it Canva Cash Machine. How to create digital assets and print-on-demand products that sell themselves. And I want to tell you what's inside. But first, let me explain something that I think is really important. Because I want you to understand why this works right now, in this moment, better than it ever has before. We are living in an unusual window of opportunity. Platforms like Etsy, Creative Market, Redbubble, and Amazon Merch have spent years and hundreds of millions of dollars building audiences. Buyers who come to these platforms specifically looking to purchase things, not browsing social media and maybe clicking an ad, actually going to these sites with a credit card in hand, searching for exactly the kinds of products you can create. Those buyers are already there. You don't have to find them. You don't have to build an audience. You don't have to post on Instagram every day, or run ads, or build a following from scratch. The traffic is already there. Your only job is to show up with the right products. And here's where the second thing comes in: Canva. If you've never used it, it's a free design tool that has gotten so good, so fast, that things that used to take a professional graphic designer 3 days of work can now be done by an absolute beginner in 30 minutes. I am not a designer. I want to be really clear about that. I couldn't tell you the difference between kerning and tracking. I don't know color theory. I couldn't have designed a business card from scratch 2 years ago. And now I have an Etsy shop with dozens of products that people buy regularly. Not because I got better at design, because I learned how to use a system that does most of the heavy lifting. When you combine ready customers on the platforms with beginner-friendly tools like Canva, and you add a proven method for knowing what to make, the barrier to entry on this becomes almost nothing. The timing has never been better. And the competition, while it exists, is not the obstacle people think it is. I'll come back to that. Let me walk you through what's actually inside the guide. The first section is about finding profitable niches and products before you create a single thing. This is the part that most beginners skip entirely. And it's the reason most beginners make nothing. They open Canva. They start designing something they personally like or think looks cool. They upload it. And then they wonder why no one buys it. The market doesn't care what you personally find beautiful. The market buys what the market is already buying. So the first thing I teach is a specific process for going into these marketplaces and figuring out right now, today, what is actually selling. What products are getting consistent sales? What niches have strong demand? What price points work? What search terms people are actually using? Not guessing. Not following a trend report from a year ago. Actually looking at the real data that's right in front of you on these platforms, if you know where to look and what to look for. By the end of this section, you will not sit down to create anything until you already know someone wants to buy it. That shift alone is worth more than the entire price of this guide. The second section is creating your first product in Canva, step by step. And I mean genuinely step by step. I wrote this for someone who has never opened Canva in their life. If you have used Canva before, you'll move through this quickly. If you haven't, you'll be creating real, sellable products by the end of this section. I walk you through the most beginner-friendly product categories, why certain products are easier to start with, how to use templates the right way without copying what someone else made, how to customize them to stand out, how to export files in the correct format for each platform, and how to create product mockups that make your listing look professional even if your design is simple. Because here's the thing. Simple sells. Some of my best performing products are genuinely simple. Not because I aimed low, because I understood that customers aren't looking for elaborate artwork. They're looking for something useful, something that solves a specific small problem in their life. A budget tracker that's clean and easy to use. A weekly planner that fits their routine. A printable that makes them feel organized or inspired or put together. Simple, useful, and in demand. That's the formula. The third section is setting up your marketplace accounts. Etsy, Creative Market, Redbubble, Amazon Merch, TeePublic. I walk you through the basics of each, which ones are best for which types of products, how to get your account set up and verified correctly, and what you need to have ready before you list your first product. This section is practical and specific. No theory. Just the actual steps. The fourth section is the one that most people don't talk about enough, and it's the reason so many beginners list products and make zero sales. Listing optimization. Getting found is not automatic. Even on a marketplace with millions of buyers, if your listing isn't set up correctly, you're invisible. And being invisible is the same as not existing. I walk you through exactly how to write titles that get search traffic, how to choose tags and keywords that buyers are actually using, how to write descriptions that convert browsers into buyers, how to price your products competitively while protecting your margins, and how to use your product images to stop someone mid-scroll and make them click. This is the difference between a shop that sits there with zero sales and a shop that generates consistent income. Same products, totally different results, just based on how the listings are built. The fifth section is pricing and profit margins. One of the most common mistakes beginners make is pricing too low. They think cheap equals more sales, and sometimes that's true in the short term. But pricing too low kills your profit margins, attracts the wrong buyers, and burns you out fast. I teach you exactly how to think about pricing for digital products versus print on demand, what your actual costs are on each platform, what margin you should be protecting, and how to price in a way that feels fair to the buyer while still building real income for you. This section also covers the psychology of pricing. Why a $12 product often outsells a $3 product. Why certain price points signal value and others signal doubt. Understanding this changes how you approach your whole catalog. And the sixth section is about building a catalog and scaling to real passive income. Because here's the thing. One product is not passive income. One product is an experiment. Passive income comes from a catalog. 20 products, 50 products, 100 products. Not all of them will be winners, but the ones that are will keep selling week after week, month after month, without you touching them. I teach you how to think about building your catalog strategically, how to expand on your best performing products, how to create product variations without starting from scratch every time, how to diversify across platforms so you're not dependent on a single marketplace, and how to manage and organize a growing shop so it doesn't become overwhelming. This section is about turning a side hustle into something that actually runs itself. That's the main guide. But I also put together 5 bonuses, and each one was built specifically to solve a problem I know you're going to hit. The first bonus is 50 profitable product ideas. Specifically, what's selling right now? Because I know some of you are going to finish the first section of the main guide and still feel stuck. You understand the process for researching products, but you just want someone to say, "Here, start with this." This bonus does exactly that. 50 specific product ideas across different categories and niches, each one chosen because it has real, proven demand on the major platforms. Not random ideas I made up. Products with actual sales history and search volume. You read through this list and something will click. The second bonus is 50 Canva templates, ready for you to customize. I know the blank canvas problem. I've had it. You open Canva, you want to create a planner, you start from zero, and suddenly an hour has passed and you've basically done nothing. These templates solve that. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from something that already looks professional, already has the right dimensions and format for the platform, already has a structure that works. You customize the colors, the fonts, the text, the small details that make it yours. And you're done in a fraction of the time. These templates alone will save you hours on your first few products. The third bonus is a listing optimization checklist for Etsy, Creative Market, and Redbubble. Every single element your listing needs to be set up correctly. Title, tags, description, images, pricing, category, attributes, all of it. On a simple checklist you run through before you hit publish, because one missing piece can be the reason your listing gets no traffic. This checklist makes sure you don't leave anything on the table. The fourth bonus is the market research cheat sheet, a specific step-by-step guide to finding what's trending before you create anything. The exact process I use to evaluate demand, check competition, and decide whether a product idea is worth pursuing. You can do this in 15 minutes for any product idea you have. And the cheat sheet walks you through it clearly every time. The fifth bonus is the 30-day launch tracker, a day-by-day checklist from day 1 to day 30. Day 1. You're setting up your Canva account and platform accounts. Day 5. You're creating your first product. Day 10. You're listing it with an optimized listing. Day 20. You're analyzing what's working and creating your second and third products. Day 30. You have a real shop with real products and the framework for a growing catalog. Every day has a clear task. No wondering what to do next. No getting paralyzed. You open the tracker, do today's task, close it, move on. 30 days, start to finish. Now, I want to address some things directly, because I know what the questions are. I've heard them all, and some of them I asked myself. The first one is, I have no design skills. I'm not creative. How is this going to work for me? I want you to really hear this. This is not a course about being creative. This is a system for making money with products people already want, using a tool that requires no design skills, using templates that are already built for you. I am not a designer. I am not an artist. I have no formal training in anything visual. And the income I've built from this has nothing to do with creative talent, and everything to do with understanding a proven system. You do not need to be good at design. You need to be good at following a repeatable process. Those are completely different things. The second objection is, I don't know what to make. I have no ideas. You don't need ideas. You need data. The first section of the guide teaches you how to find what's already selling. The first bonus gives you 50 specific proven product ideas to start with. You are not starting with a blank page. You're starting with a map. The third one is, Etsy is way too competitive. I've heard it's saturated. Every marketplace that has buyers also has competition. That's just true. But saturated is not the same as impossible. In fact, competition is often evidence of demand. The mistake people make is trying to compete on the exact same terms as the biggest shops. Same product, same design, same everything. And of course, they lose. A shop with 500 reviews is going to beat a new shop every time if everything else is equal. But everything else doesn't have to be equal. A better optimized listing beats a poorly optimized listing regardless of review count. A product that targets a more specific sub-niche will find its buyers even in a crowded category. A listing with cleaner mock-up images will get more clicks even against established competition. The guide teaches you how to find the gaps. Not where competition is lowest, but where your product can genuinely stand out. That's a different conversation, and it's one most people never have. The fourth one is, do I need a social media following? Do I need to do marketing? No! That's the whole point of this system. These marketplaces have built-in traffic. Etsy gets hundreds of millions of visits every month. Redbubble brings in buyers who are specifically looking for original designs. Amazon Merch has the largest retail customer base in the world. They do the marketing. They run the ads. They bring the people. Your job is to have products that are optimized to be found when those people are searching. That's listing optimization. That's the system. And that's what this guide teaches. You can do this with zero social media presence, zero following, zero marketing budget. The platforms are the distribution. You're just showing up with the right products. Now let me talk about the price. The regular price for Canva Cash Machine is $97. And honestly, based on what it can do for your income, that's still a good deal. We're talking about a system that, if you follow it, can generate consistent passive income for months and years. If it helps you make even 2 sales a week at $10 each, you've made back your investment in the first few weeks. But today, this is not $97. The 5 bonuses alone have real value. 50 ready-to-use Canva templates. 50 proven product ideas. A listing optimization checklist. A market research cheat sheet. A 30-day launch tracker. If I sold each of those separately, they'd add up to well over $100 combined. They're not filler. They're the pieces that actually get you moving from learning to doing. Today, the complete package, the main guide, and all 5 bonuses is $27. $27. That's less than what most people spend on takeout on a single Friday night. It's about what you'd spend on coffee for a week. One dinner out, that's it. And everything is digital. Nothing gets shipped. The second you complete your purchase, everything downloads directly to your device. The guide, the templates, the trackers, all 5 bonuses, instantly. You could be reading the first section in the next 5 minutes. This is a launch price. I'm building reviews and testimonials and making it as easy as possible for people to get in and get started. As more people come through, the price will move back up to $97. I can't tell you the exact day that happens because it's based on volume, not a countdown timer. What I can tell you is that the $27 window is real, and it won't stay open forever. But here's what I want to say clearly. I don't want you to buy this out of panic or pressure. I want you to buy it because it makes sense for where you are right now. So here's what I'm offering. Take the full guide and all 5 bonuses. Go through it. Do the work. Create your first products. List them. Follow the 30-day tracker. If after 60 days you don't feel like this was worth far more than $27, send one email and ask for a refund. You'll get every cent back. No questions asked. No explanation needed. No form to fill out. Just an email. And you keep the bonuses either way. There is genuinely no risk in this. Either this works and you're building a real catalog of products generating passive income, or you ask for your money back and you're exactly where you are right now. Except you still have the templates, still have the cheat sheet, still have the tracker. So really, you can't lose. But I want to sit with that second option for a moment, because I think it deserves honesty. Staying where you are isn't neutral. It feels that way. It feels like not making a decision. But it's actually a choice. A choice to keep waiting. To keep watching other people sell things on Etsy and think, I could do that. To keep telling yourself you'll figure it out later. And later rarely comes. Because the thing blocking you right now isn't time or money or resources. It's not knowing the system. And not knowing the system isn't going to fix itself. You can't think your way into understanding something you haven't learned yet. I want you to imagine 2 different futures. In the first one, you close this out. You tell yourself you'll come back to it. You've got a lot going on. Maybe once things slow down. But things don't slow down. Life keeps moving, and the idea sits in the back of your head, unacted on. A few months go by. You see someone else posting about their Etsy income, and you feel that familiar thing, that little flash of, this could have been me. And another year passes, and you're in the exact same place, still thinking about it. In the second one, you spend $27 today. In the next few minutes, everything is on your device. This week, you go through the first section and figure out exactly what product you're going to make. You pick one from the idea list and start researching whether it fits your niche. By the end of the week, you've created your first product. You've listed it with an optimized listing. You've set up your account. 3 weeks from now, maybe you've made your first sale. A stranger on the internet found your product, liked it, and bought it, while you were doing something else entirely. 3 months from now, you have 10 products live. Some of them are performing, some aren't. But the ones that are keep selling without you doing anything. You start adding more products, faster, because you know the system now. 6 months from now, you check your dashboard on a Tuesday morning, and there are sales from the night before. While you were sleeping, a year from now, you have a catalog. Products across multiple platforms. Some making $10 a month, some making $50. Some you forgot you even listed, still quietly generating income. And you look at the total and realize, this is real. This is the thing you thought about for years and never started. This is what it looks like when you actually do it. That's not a fantasy. That's just the math of what happens when you build a catalog of products on platforms that already have millions of customers. Design once, sell forever. That phrase is the whole idea. Not create endlessly, not work constantly, not hustle every single day trying to grow a following. Create a product once, list it, and let the platform sell it for you, over and over again, without you having to do another thing. That's what this system is designed to make possible. And here's the truth I want to leave you with. You don't need to be creative. You just need to know what's selling. You don't need to be a designer. You just need Canva and a template. You don't need an audience. You just need a well-optimized listing on a platform with ready buyers. You don't need to spend months figuring this out on your own. You just need the system laid out clearly, step by step, with the tools already built. Everything you need is inside this guide. The research method, the creation process, the listing strategy, the pricing framework, the scaling approach, and 5 bonuses that take you from information to action before you even finish reading. The templates are ready. The product ideas are there. The tracker is built. The cheat sheet is done. Everything is waiting. And the only question left is whether you're going to actually start. 1 year from now, you're going to be somewhere. The question is where? Are you going to still be scrolling through Etsy thinking, I could do that? Or are you going to be the person someone else is looking at thinking that? You already know what you want the answer to be. That's why you're still listening. Grab Canva Cash Machine today while it's still $27. Everything downloads instantly. You can be reading the first section in minutes. And you've got 60 days to go through it completely risk-free. I genuinely hope you decide to start today. Because a year from now, I want you to be the person with the dashboard, with the passive sales, with the catalog that works while you sleep. That version of you starts right now.